Runaway robot.
Welcome back to DieFall, episode 42 of The Aspects. Where we left off, excuse me, the cough is just catching up with me right now. Where we left off is, we're gonna go see what Hathol's been up to. It's been probably about an hour to an hour and a half of Hathol being out here sitting, waiting, wishing, doing a little meditating. So Hathol, we come back to you, quietly centered on yourself there in your little designing drawing. What's going on?
So I've been sitting there, eyes closed, just letting my mind drift off for a while, and then I take the quarterstaff that I've been carrying for the whole journey and never once even looked at.
Yep.
And just lay it across my lap. And I see a little firefly flutter its way past me. And I just grab it with my fingers. And I place it gently on the quarterstaff and attempt to create some kind of magic that I've never created before.
Sure.
Which makes the quarterstaff shine bright, brilliant gold in the middle of the darkness. And Hathol just learnt to cast light.
Yeah. Yeah. So Hathol, in this meditation of trying to bring some things together, you see, we see this shot of like this little lightning bug just like blinking on the end of Hathol's quarterstaff there, and he's focused on it, and he runs his hands along the length of the quarterstaff, and as his fingers trace along it, it leaves behind these lines of light, and it just starts emanating this light, and it extends outwards for, I think it's like 60 feet in all directions or something like that. Okay, so 20 feet in all directions of this bright light around him, and yeah, so you have this quarterstaff in your hands now that is just emitting this light, outshining the little lightning bug that's just little blinking on the end of the quarterstaff there.
As I'm sitting there bathed in this light, I get this amazing feeling of like, not really sure what just happened, but feeling like it was something momentous. And I just gaze up at the stars and just whisper, "Thank you." But then, completely unexpectedly, Hathol suddenly realizes it's the middle of the night and he's actually tired. It's a feeling that he's not had for most of his life. And he suddenly feels the need to sleep. So he makes his way back to the tent. And for the first night in decades, falls asleep with his companions.
Yep. So for those of you guys that didn't know, Hathol had this ability or this curse or this whatever to never be able to sleep. His body pushed onwards by some other force. But now Hathol, you enter the tent and you see like all of your companions, around. There's like a small torch that's like glowing faintly in the corner, and you see them all laying around sleeping peacefully. And for the first time in a very, very long time in your life, you lay down and close your eyes and actually dream. You haven't dreamt in, who knows how long. You're what? Are you a full elf?
No, I'm
Half elf? And you found the book when you were a child. It's been decades since you've had a dream, and I think what you dream about is essentially still that juxtaposition of the two things that you've been trying to parse together for a while now, and culminating into that light spell. I think you kind of find yourself like drifting through the stars that you were looking at the whole night, and finding yourself floating through the cosmos in this kind of dreamlike state. But you feel at peace, and it's a good feeling. You feel bright. but you sleep well and soundly for the first time in decades. Yeah, I think everyone then, your long sleep passes. No one had to take watch. It was a nice evening. You're not tied up at a stake somewhere. You just got to rest. We need to address this now, I think, because I forgot to address this previously when Ignis hit level 6 anyways. You all wake up, and Ignis, you're like getting your stuff, your clothes ready and things like that, and I think you'd probably want to take a look at that wound of yours after you'd spent an entire night next to this relic.
Oh yeah, of course. I'm checking my side here.
Yeah, the wound itself is it used to be like the size of the stinger, right? It was solidly into your side, but it looks like the necrotized skin has fallen all the way back, and the wound itself is closed up to like about your eyeball size.
Hey, it's getting better.
Yeah.
Hey, Darien, I don't have a giant gaping hole in my side. Isn't that great?
My lord, that's fantastic news. Oh, God.
Yeah. I mean, I'm down a pocket, but still.
Please tell me you were not sticking things in it.
You know he
Oh,
was.
no, not seriously. Although I did consider getting a liner.
So, yeah, it's no longer like oozing any of that grossness as it was at having doing so previously. Again, the necrotized skin seems to be gone. The wound itself now seems like your own flesh and blood.
You know what? I will try downing a potion.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? Go ahead and roll me some. Roll me some of that potion there.
If it does actually close up.
15? What did you lose off your max?
11.
You watch as the wound knits itself over, completely covering itself up, and it looks like brand new skin. And you actually heal that 11 points that you'd been missing for so
My God.
so long.
My God.
This is a big day for Ignas Erdrick.
Oh,
So long. So
he's a big
Ignis,
boy again.
on top of that, and actually I'm trying to maneuver some stuff here. On top of that, what is your total HP now at level 6 as well as with the 11 back?
Once again, I'm taking the average, which means that I am up to a whopping 51.
51
My
health.
God.
There it is.
Tanky boy.
Yep.
Damn.
So
That's what
Ignis
happens when you
Erdrick,
take the average.
I'm
Whatever.
at
Ignis
44.
Erdrick, you feel relief. You, as far as you can tell, seem to be free of this curse.
Oh.
It only took 20 sessions. We're good, boys.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Well then.
Wait, did we just achieve a group goal that took 20 sessions?
Yes.
It's good, man.
Yeah.
Now we gotta find another group goal.
Feels even better that I didn't die after being 11 HP down.
I know.
'Cause that's significant.
It's Darien
Oh,
doing his
boy.
job.
You know what? This calls for a celebration. And from my pack, I am going to take out the Fine Dwarven Whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
Pop the top. Take out the cork. And just take a swig. Hand it to Darien.
My lord, it is morning.
Better time to celebrate. We could be dead by evening.
And there it is.
Darien, do you take the
No.
flask from him? Oh. Okay. Never mind.
Oh, come on. I'll just shake it at him a little bit.
I'll take mine later. Thank you.
All right, Miara.
I might as well take a small swig and I'll look to see if she's awake. And I'll say, if she is awake, I'll say, do as we say, not as we do.
Yes,
She looks, yeah.
Take a
God.
small drink.
Even though some may say that it's 5 o'clock somewhere, that's a lie. They're just drunks.
She just looks up and she goes, "Papa drinks in the morning sometimes."
Oh yes, that's true.
Oh no.
Oh
I
God, is
forgot
that where I
she-
get it from? Oh no.
I'll pass the bottle to Hathol. If
I look at Miara slightly judging.
Yeah, Hathol, you're waking up for the first time in decades, and it's kind of tough. You feel rested, but like, yeah, you
5 more
stretch out
minutes.
and you go like this, and you're like, oh, what is like? There's like sandy gunk in your eyes, and you're like, what is? Oh, and your
I
breath smells.
think I
It's just, oh, it's
slept
just miserable.
funny.
Yeah.
my neck is weird.
Oh,
Hathol,
God,
the
that's the
circles under
worst.
your eyes gone?
Yeah. Yeah, Hathol, you wake up, you feel good.
I feel good. I'll accept the drink extended from Miara.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Today
it is
feels like it's gonna be a good day, and take a big old.
Yep. For the both of you, I mean, it's a fine dwarven whiskey. It burns real nice on the way down. Hathol, you feel officially woken up now, so there you go. Take that status. Yeah. But yeah,
And-
so yeah, you're feeling pretty good.
I'll take the whiskey back and just stopper it again and put it back in the bag of holding.
Yeah, so it's morning now. What would you guys like to do?
Hathel starts to remember some strange information that he picked up on during his dreaming for the
Sure.
first time in decades.
Sure.
Ignas, you have a wonderful bag of just tremendous goodies in there. Do you happen to have some charcoal, incense, and herbs hidden in there somewhere?
Believe so. It might be in my alchemist's satchel instead of.
I need
the
a
bag
little.
of
I need
holding.
a little bit of each one.
Okay, I'll see. Do I have those, by the way? Are those part of the? I don't actually know off the top of my head.
they're not in the alchemist satchel.
All right.
So what you're looking for essentially is a spell components pouch.
which I think I have.
Hathol. I mean, Ignis, I think you don't because they come out of your pouch, like your alchemist
Right.
satchel.
Alchemist supplies. Yeah. Okay.
So who you're probably going to want to talk to, Hathol, and you'd know this if Ignis didn't have it already, you're going to want to go talk to some of those druids.
Yep, that's what I want to do today.
Okay. But yeah, it's morning. What's up? What do you guys want to do? You guys
Right,
sitting in
well-
the tent today, or you want to go outside?
Before we go anywhere, can I show you a thing? Do you want to see the thing?
I want to see a
I
thing.
worked so hard on it.
You have a
Are
thing.
you gonna open this in the tent, or do you,
long.
please go outside?
No, no,
As long
no.
as you
we
remain
go
fully
outside.
clothed, I
No,
want to see
no,
the
this
thing.
is too big. This is too big. It's too big. It'll just fill every possible opening. Let's go outside.
Phrasing, my
Hathel
lord.
starts to feel weirded out.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, all right. So I'm gonna just go outside without waiting for everyone's. Come on.
Yeah.
Tess.
The sun is rising slowly over the horizon. It is early morning still. There's still some chill in the air in the desert here, but it is quickly warming. You do notice on the horizon, Ignis, as you exit, I believe Miara and Ignis, you guys both have a passive perception high enough for this. You see off in the distance what looks to be two large birds beelining it for Adis. But I mean, if you want to take a closer look at it or take more care, you can. Or Ignis, we can do this thing first.
No, I'll take a look at this.
Yeah, those look like they might be those eagles that Ital was speaking of earlier.
Yeah, sure. I mean, just make some perception checks if you want to like see how much you can see of this.
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
Attempt. I like making perception checks.
I hadn't rolled anything like in 2 weeks.
Oh,
Yep. So 15 from Miara and 20 from Ignis. Yeah, I mean it's pretty clear there seems to be some shapes riding on top of what look to be these giant birds, and as they come closer, as you you wait some time, they get closer and closer. You can tell that they look to be giant eagles, and they have some hobgoblins astride them.
Excellent.
That's rad.
Our time is short, though, Ignis. You still wanted to conduct that experiment, did you not?
Oh yes, but this will be worth it. Just wait,
All right.
And from the bag of holding, I will extract various separate pieces and basically just fit them together, kind of like Legos, until it's kind of like almost briefcase sized, about so big, yay big. And then on the top is a big button. And Darien, would you do the honors?
Will this injure me in any way?
Not unless I tell it to. I mean, it's not going to explode or anything, so.
And then
Hathol's feeling really excited this morning, and he just leaps forward and smashes the button.
I keep.
okay.
Yeah, he hit the button. What
All right,
happens,
all right.
Ignis?
Step back. And so from the briefcase,
Holds to
It
Seer
just
and
kind of-
Balmiar bag.
various like pieces just kind of unfold from it. And if you've seen like the Transformers movie or Iron Man 2, where the briefcase just unfolds and then suits up onto him, it's kind of like that, where it just very slowly unfolds and then refolds into the shape of, well, let's see, it's bipedal, it has short arms, a big snout, very sharp teeth, has a saddle molded onto its back, and it looks like a velociraptor, but it is bigger.
Yeah.
He's gonna ride a freaking dinosaur.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring this up on the page here, since I've got one of these hanging out. So let me go ahead and bring up the map so everyone can see what's going on here. So this is Rexy.
Oh!
So Ignis built this. Yeah, I think I still need to. Yeah, I need to set up some of this stuff here real quick. But other than that, yeah, this is Rexy. This is Ignis's mechanical servant at level 6. An alchemist. Artificer. Artificer gets a mechanical servant that is like a CR level or CR2 level monster that is large, and basically has it as a mechanical servant and gets some random bonuses and stuff too. But yeah, so that's
Joel,
that's the boy.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed that you would let this happen.
Yeah, you remember that one point in time where I said, man, we should really not do anything that's not published? And remember when Rel really badly wanted to be an artificer and didn't want to do anything else? Yeah, I remember that day too. So now we have a dinosaur in the campaign, a mechanical dinosaur.
I just
There it is.
Hathol is like the looking at this thing like the little kid in The Incredibles who just says, "That is totally wicked."
Isn't it? It's so cool.
my group pulled out joints their first session, and I was like, sure, yeah, weed is a thing in this campaign, but let's try to avoid anything that a fucking dinosaur, Rel. Like, come on, dude. Jesus Christ. You're power mad. Darien's been replaced with a fucking dinosaur. God damn it.
Does he promote the dinosaur above Darien?
He knights Darien. Or he knights the dinosaur, rather. I call this Darien 2.
Sir Rexy.
Fuck me.
That nickname.
Fuck me.
What is this thing, Ignis?
I went off this ride.
You know what the worst part about all of this is for me? It's like, oh my god, we have so many tokens. Does everyone need a pet? This is ridiculous.
Sorry, Joel.
Yeah, I know. It's okay.
At this
It's
point,
all
I think
right.
I'm the only one that hasn't asked anything ridiculous of Joel.
Not yet. I'm waiting on
Not
it.
yet.
What did I
Not yet.
ask ridiculous?
I don't know. You spend every other session coming up with some Hathol Beast story. Hey, can I renounce my god? How does that work? It's no offense. Maybe I'm just not creative enough. Maybe I gotta step it up. Hey, Joel, I'm gonna call you tonight. Christ,
I look forward to the next session.
this is ridiculous.
I look forward to the highlights.
I just
So-
know that the campaign's gonna get more difficult because we're compensating for a fucking dinosaur in every combat encounter. I was stabbed by a child 3 sessions ago. What do you think is gonna attack me next, guys? This might be my last session.
3 smaller children.
Oh, this is good.
Does the thing lay eggs? I don't know.
This is nice.
Scared.
This is
Not
nice.
Yoshi.
It could be.
Please no.
It could certainly try to be.
It could swallow up Tessie and spit out an egg.
Great.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Anyway,
Oh,
I'm done.
God. Okay.
Anyway,
So there was a question of what is it? It is, as far as I know, a mythical beast. There was a museum in Erdrick many years ago. It had a completed skeleton of something like this, but larger. I mean, I had to make it to scale, you understand, because I just didn't have enough materials. And unfortunately, it was the only skeleton of its kind that had ever been found. And so it was declared a fake and taken down. But ever since I saw it, I was enamored with it because it showed that something had come before us, something that was so old and so ancient that all we could find was a skeleton.
My lord, that's fascinating.
Yes, I call it Rexy.
Yeah,
Now it's
why do you
adorable.
call it Rexy?
Out of character, that's the name of the T-Rex in Jurassic Park and Jurassic World.
Yeah, but I'm just
Also,
looking
I'm
for
bad
a
at
reason
names.
in character for anyway, whatever. Yeah, so this all folds out and attaches itself together, stands up to its full height, and immediately you are all surrounded by javelins and spears and arrow points as the hobgoblins around you are taken by surprise by this giant creature being unleashed in their war camp.
Ignis,
Oh,
put the
oh,
thing
s-
away.
oh,
Put your
s-
toy away.
Unfortunately, I can't. It has many interlocking parts, and while I managed to design it to, unlock, it's kind of locked now. I can't make it go back into the suit, into the briefcase. But anyway, and I'll just address the hobgoblins. It's fine. It's fine. It's like the panther. It's a pet. It's tame.
Yeah, so Hathol, you notice in this group here, Umsug from a couple days or the day before looks over at you and in Hobgoblin he addresses you and he's like, "What is the small one saying?"
Yes, Hathol, a little help, please.
Do not be afraid, my friends. This is a tame creature. It's a pet that belongs to the small one. It won't do any harm.
Why does it not just eat the small one?
Well, now Darien's afraid. Oh wait, that's not in common. Never mind.
I believe it doesn't have as much disdain for the small one as you do, Amsug.
You see him like smile, like a big toothy smile. Ah, it should, but okay. And he turns and he addresses the rest of the group. Nothing to see here, just small one antics. And they all kind of chuckle and like walk
Small
off.
antics.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just guys.
Hey,
being
Ignis, do you ever feel
dudes.
like you're getting a reputation?
Just gnome boys doing what gnome boys do.
Yeah.
I had a reputation long before this.
The large mechanical head, like it's got like daggers for teeth, like literal daggers for teeth. And so it like clicks, turns around and like it looks down at Ignis.
I forgot to bring this up before. But I wanted to use I wanted to kind of make like a skirt out of the not that kind of skirt.
You putting a tutu on it? What's going
No,
on here,
no.
man?
You remember the chitinous plate that I wanted to get from the Avatar?
What?
What?
The big giant stingy thing that gave me the curse.
The thing you
Oh,
tried
okay.
to stitch
Yes.
together to cover us in the sandstorm?
No, that was the boulette. That was the other thing that I took apart.
oh, the
What's
bullet.
wrong
Okay.
with me?
I'm honestly losing track at this point.
Yeah, I know.
Never mind. I'll bring it up later. I'm not gonna go. into it
Okay.
now. But instead, Ignis is just gonna climb on this thing and just hop into the saddle
Oh dear.
Yeah, he hops up into the saddle and
with the
it
orb.
just
All right,
sits.
let's go to the temple. You take care of that
yeah,
experiment
so
before it starts.
It
or before the meeting starts.
stomps off its large legs, gong, 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 and just stomps through the war camp towards the tomb.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Do we have to run to keep up with this thing?
No, at normal walking speed, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna force that on you guys. That'd be ridiculous.
In combat, you would.
Thanks, Dad.
Welcome the exhaustion back
Yeah.
with open arms.
In combat, I think it's just as fast as Balmiar is.
Oh, dope.
60
Which-
feet.
No, faster.
Okay.
Okay,
Dang.
it's faster than Balmiar.
Yeah, because he runs 50 feet.
Yep. So this
Nice.
dinosaur is literally faster than all of you, just at quote unquote normal walking speed. He's double yours.
If somebody
that-
magically hacks this thing, I'm killing you.
It's mechanical. It's mostly mechanical.
Oh, thank God.
Also, that's my plan for when we take back Erdrick. So shh.
Oh boy.
Also, you know that problem with letting go of, or letting goblins and orcs escape? That's not going to be a problem with this dude.
Anyways, you stomp yourselves over to the tomb. I just dropped. Is the little lady Tassir coming with you guys? She just like in
presume
tow
so.
now.
Yeah,
I
mean,
think we want to keep a close eye on her. Yeah.
Yeah, you're drawing a lot of attention, even more so than usual for being weirdos that are in this
Weird.
camp full of hobgoblins.
I wonder why.
As you move closer to the tomb, Miara, you notice in the sky another pair of these eagles approaching. So that seems to be at least 4 that have arrived now. Anyways, you guys make it to the tomb. You realize that just after the large entryway into the tomb, your big boy may not fit further into the tomb area.
Had a feeling.
Gotta park him outside, I guess.
Is he really that big?
He is a large creature he's like 15 feet tall or something like that.
What?
At max height or something.
What's your
Okay.
climb speed?
I did not realize.
Let me read the info here. Yeah, no, I mean, like, regardless, he's a large creature, so it would be like taking a horse, but bigger, into this tomb where you guys have already been and know that it's not big enough for a horse.
Okay. Rexy, sentry mode.
Yeah, no, it just sits outside and like looks around,
Fuck.
like its big ass head just.
Yeah, like an animatronic at Disneyland.
Oh, and like its movements and stuff. Have you guys ever played? Oh my gosh, why can't I remember the name of it? The Watchers from I can't remember. The ones with like the big light bulb eyeballs on the front from the game where the dinosaurs are all machines.
Horizon
Zero Dawn.
Thank you,
Yeah.
God.
No, I
Yeah, his,
haven't,
like,
because I don't have a PS4.
his like head motions are very similar to like those Watchers, right?
Oh,
Like,
man.
just very much like that.
Now I'm looking forward to playing that.
Yeah. So, oh no, it's super good. So,
right.
anyways, yeah. So he's parked outside, and you guys proceed deeper into the thing. As you walk by, Tassir like slaps the its big ass leg and goes dong dong, and she giggles a little bit and walks inside.
Question: Are the druids gonna be inside the tomb or somewhere else in the camp at this point?
I mean, you're more than welcome to go find where they are.
Because I want to go find the druids. Then, if they're not in the tomb, I don't want to go in the tomb. I wanna
You
go
haven't
find
seen
the
them.
druids.
I mean, you can go find them. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go look for
Silly
them.
enough. Sure. Yeah. So we'll follow into the tomb. Hathol like diverts a little bit away, and he lets you guys. Do you let them know, or you just leave?
Yeah. I'll just say I need to speak to the druids. I'll catch you later.
Okay. Yeah. So you wander off. We follow them into the tomb. Yeah. So you guys make it all the way to the where, excuse me, the relic was pulled from on the monolith. It's been daylight long enough. The footfalls have started happening. Adis is on the move again. What would you like to do?
Well, for the experiment to work, we need to wait until the next footfall and then place the orb in the slot. And then we wait a little longer, and if there isn't another footfall, then we'll know that the orb can put the elemental to sleep.
Sure. Okay. So yeah, you wait. A footfall happens. The whole place vibrates. Some dust comes down. Darien quickly puts you up there. You slap the orb in and wait. And wait. and wait. Boom! It seems like another footfall has already happened.
All right. And it seems the orb isn't controlling this thing. Was just there.
That means it woke up on its own accord.
Seems like
I have one more theory. What if,
Go.
and is Tessie in earshot of us?
I mean, she's in the room with you, so yeah, she's watching all
Okay.
this happen, like looking around like this, and she like scratches her head sometimes and keeps looking around.
What if what we found in this room was similar to what it did to her, keeping this thing asleep?
Eating its magic?
You remember that when asked about the holes in the back where the worm marks had been, that those had been made in like 2 weeks prior, and the city had talked about being asleep for thousands of years.
It's a strange coincidence then that it would wake up just as we defeat that thing and remove the orb. There must be something in this room that's determining whether it wakes up or not. Maybe it was when we opened the door. Maybe there was a spell that we counteracted when we opened it.
I don't know, but unfortunately, this isn't really going to impress Ital much.
No.
Well, we do have one more card to play, and that is that Hathol is the only one who can communicate with it.
Did you want to bring up to Ital our discussion that we had, or what we were discussing before the meeting, or did you want to wait till after they had already met? Because that is something that they could bring to the table, that Ital might consider to bring to the table for the council to agree upon.
Which thing? I can't remember.
Essentially our quote-unquote plan to possibly leave Adis closer to the
that.
spine. For reasons to keep it away from the gnolls.
I feel like we should bring it up to the council at large so that we have other voices that might agree with us, because I have a feeling that Ital will simply want to go straight to the desolation.
Agreed.
All right. I figure out we might try with her, considering that we know her, and she seems to trust us for the moment. We could have a supporter on our side right from there, but I do see where you come from.
Yes. We run the risk, and I consider it a strong risk, that if she disagrees with our plan, then we already have someone speaking against us vehemently.
Or
Yeah.
we're just barred from the meeting entirely.
This is
Or
also
that.
true. All right.
You can always just simply make it as a friendly offer. We don't have to make it seem like we're going over her head.
No. If anything, we should make it as if, almost as if we would be providing protection to the city of Adis. Assisted protection. That we wish to help and give back for the hospitality that the hobgoblins have given us.
All right. Well, should we get to the meeting then?
Do we want to have
Yeah.
Hathol with us at the meeting, or do we wish to go without him?
I thought Hathol was with us.
He said he wanted
No,
to go
he
Okay.
left.
druids.
We should find him first.
All right.
Okay. Oh yeah. So we jump over to Hathol now. What are you doing, Hathol?
Looking for druids.
Yeah.
Did
I mean, you
did
find them
find
easily enough. They're wearing some brown robes and things. Yep. So you catch up with one.
Yeah. So I need to borrow some equipment, if possible.
Yeah. The druid you stand in front of looks over at you, and he has like this kind of like graying beard, is bald on top, and has a couple of like fearsome piercings on his ears, and he's got these like kind of almost black eyes, and he looks over at you and goes, how may I assist?
I'm looking to acquire some charcoal, some incense, and some herbs.
He
And to
nods.
borrow a brass brazier if possible.
Brazier. Must it be brass? It sounds like you are casting a specific spell.
I'm casting an unknown spell to myself, something I've learned during the night. But yes, it must be brass.
Must be brass. We travel lightly when we are traveling with the war camp. Some specific spell components we don't take with us. Braziers we have. Brass. I will ask around. Wait here.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
He nods and, you know, like puts his arms through his robes and he walks away, and he's talking around to some of the other druids. Some of them shake their heads. Another one procures some like sticks of incense and hands it to him, and he nods thankfully. And you know, he's wandering around to some of the druids that are like, you know, they're prepping for the day. Some of them like are looking over like small journals and looking around. One of them's like got pressed what looks like pressed plants in a journal, and they're just doing some things. He returns to you and he hands you he pulls out like a small pouch, and he's like, the charcoal is here. It's not hard to find with fire about. And he hands you a couple of sticks of the incense. And you said you needed one. What was the other thing?
Herbs.
Herbs? Oh, okay. Yeah. And he goes and he pulls it out and he goes, some fine herbs. We again tend to travel pretty lightly. It's like maybe palm-sized amount of herbs. He looks and shakes his head. I'm having trouble with the specifically brass brazier. I can try to send some runners and see if one exists in the city.
If it's not too much trouble, I would be very grateful.
He shrugs and says, I have to give the scouts something to do. And then he turns and walks away. And you see him talking to some of the warrior scouts that have like the bows strapped on their shoulders. He he cracks a joke or something, and they all start laughing. And then they nod, and you see them like three of them trot away towards the city. He comes back to you and goes, they shall return and let us know in time.
Thank you. I shall wait patiently.
He nods and he turns and goes about his business.
Okay.
Yep. So I think about at that time, like as you've been waiting for all this stuff to happen, the rest of the group comes out of the tomb there, and yeah, what would you like to do?
Remount, of course.
Of course.
Disable sentry mode.
It's very difficult for you to mount this thing while carrying a basketball-sized relic, but hey, you know what? You make do.
I will pass it off to Darien at this point. It's done its job. He should get the sense of serenity. You know?
Sure, Darren. You hold on to this thing.
Boy, do I need
feel
it.
calm. Yeah, you feel
Serenity
you're feeling
now.
calm.
Thank you.
How's your blood pressure, Darien? Ends up popping a rage by accident.
Oh God, I wish. I miss it.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And we're just trying to find Hathol at this point, right?
I think
Yeah,
so.
he's not hard to find. I mean, you the tent city is not super large.
Yeah.
Hashtag where's Hathol?
To Hathol.
If only he had message still. Oh well.
Wouldn't help you finding me though.
Yeah, that's true. Or if he had a sending stone.
No, that's you and I.
Yeah. Well, time to see if old Rexy can do what Balmiar can do. Rexy, seek out Hathol.
Sure. Roll me a perception roll
I'm
with
gonna have-
Rexy's stats.
I'm gonna have Balmiar do the exact same thing with keen smell.
Okay.
Oh God. Okay.
Weird flex, but okay.
Yeah.
How do I do that? By the way.
Well, open his sheet.
Yeah, it's
Damn
open.
it.
Okay.
No, he's
You're on his
superior.
character sheet. You see where it says perception +5 on skills?
Oh, I get to. Oh, I just roll that. Okay.
You just click that button, and away you go.
Weird flex, but
Ow.
Yeah. So both Rexy and Balmiar. Wait, does Keen Smell give you advantage?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Let me look at it really quick. Panther has advantage on wisdom perception checks that rely on smell.
Yep. So Balmiar attempts to sniff him out, and does so rather easily. Rexy seems confused by the command. Kind of looks around a little bit, and doesn't seem to find anything.
I'll have to adjust that.
So Rexy's going to be more brawn than brain.
Oh yeah.
He actually has great stats for that. He just didn't roll very well.
He didn't do so
Yeah.
hot.
Yeah.
He'll fit right in.
Yeah.
Just got to debug it a little bit.
Looks like you have to make some adjustments, Ignis.
I'll defrag the magic drive and everything will be fine.
Defrag the magic drive. Jeez.
Amazing.
I have no idea what you just said, but okay. Balmiar, where's Hathol?
Right after he fixes the flux capacitor.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. So sorry, I was fixing something on the screen. What'd you say?
Balmiar, where's Hathol?
Yeah. So Balmiar, bounds away, but slowly enough that you guys can keep up. And he goes and finds Hathol. You see Hathol accepting something from the hobgoblin and nodding, and then the druid walking away.
Okay.
Hey,
you
you
approach.
guys.
Okay. Yeah. You approach. He's there.
Yeah.
What else would you guys like to do?
What's up, guys?
Did you get what you need?
Most of it. I'm still waiting on the last component.
What are you doing? Some experiments of your own?
Yeah, I don't know. I remember last night was the first night I've dreamt in most of my life, and I just have this information rolling around in my head that I need to get these things and do a thing with them. I'm pretty sure something cool's gonna happen, guys.
Those are the best experiments.
So what do you guys do?
We technically failed at controlling the elemental, so it's going to be up to you to convince everyone that we're the only ones who can control it, since you're the only one who can communicate with it.
Hathol is uncomfortable with the pressure being put upon him right now.
Welcome to the party.
Oh, we achieved another group goal.
Oh. Anyway, while we're waiting, want to ride on my dinosaur?
I
I
think we
really
should
do
find
not.
Hathol first.
We're still
Yeah,
waiting
Right.
for.
Yeah.
I think only 4 of the septs have arrived so far. I think we're still waiting for 2 more. Yes,
I would assume so. There are 7, you said, right?
7 total. Yes.
Yeah, so you guys were under the tomb and stuff like that, and Hathol, I don't know if you've been watching the sky or anything like that, but
Not
I don't know if
really.
you. Yeah, they could be here. You don't know. You've seen 4.
Okay. Well, let's find
Um,
detail then.
Yeah. So you ask around a little bit, and you get pointed over the direction of Ital. There is a large circular tent set up now. It seems that it has been created for the meeting of this council. Ital is standing inside. You can see that the tent flaps are open, and she's inside, and she seems to be conversing with someone you all recognize. Short, willowy looking hobgoblin with some matted and tasseled black hair and these large green eyes. Your friend Seely, the leader of the Sun Scouts Sept, is inside and seems to be talking to Ital.
Oh, yeah. Her. Darien,
Thank you, Rel. I'm super happy you pay attention to everything that happens in this game. It makes me feel great as a DM. And I gave you a dinosaur, dude. Come on!
No, no, that's what I meant. I remember her.
Engage DM sucking up mode. Is she alone, or is Poibor and Ursadil with her?
No. She seems to be alone.
Baba.
A hard enough time remembering names. Don't make
Yeah,
fun of me.
so they're definitely interested. I think at this point, They both have kind of a confused look on their face because there's this clong, clong, clang sound of this dinosaur-esque monstrosity outside their tent, and I think both Sealy and Ital exit the tent and look around and see Ignis on top of it, and they see the rest of the party in front of them. You're all quite an interesting sight at this point.
Yeah.
You're hard to miss. Yeah, so they're there. Ital looks around and sees Darien holding the orb, and she goes, "Ah, you have brought me the relic."
Yes. Unfortunately, our little test didn't yield any sort of result that we could see, so, of course, and you need it for the meeting, so here it is.
She takes it, and you see all of a sudden like this tension that apparently she was holding in her shoulders just like relaxes, and she takes a deep breath and goes, "Huh. You know, I briefly held it once before, but it's quite an effect."
Yes, it's truly something to behold, isn't it? Not many times somebody could say they've held a holy relic.
She looks up at you and she goes, "Now, Sealy here says that she has met you before." And she kind of like nods over to Sealy, and Sealy's got like a bright smile, and she looks over at you and says, "Ah, it is good to see you again, my friends. I am
and
glad
you as
that
well."
you found your way to our lovely holy city. Hopefully that map served you well."
Absolutely. We cannot thank you enough for that chart.
"No, the trade was enough. I appreciate it." And Ital looks at you and she goes, "We are waiting on the last. The Shifting Sands is sending theirs, and then we shall begin our meeting." She like looks over and up at Ignis and then looks back at Darien. "Why is the little one on top of this thing?"
I built it.
Yes.
It's his new toy.
He is a rather skillful artificer.
I'll just slap the side. This baby can carry so many gnomes.
Yes.
It does seem fearsome. We could use something like this in the fight against gnolls. And she like looks over at Sealy, and Sealy looks, could be useful. Can you make more of these?
Given enough time and materials, yes.
More of them. We shall bring this knowledge to the council. And she like turns it and walks inside.
Lean
So,
down and whisper to Darien. Just don't mention that the plans are all in my head because they might take my head off.
Can I hear him from, 15 feet up?
Yeah, he's like, his foot is your head height now.
Okay.
So he's like another, 3.5 feet up is where his head is.
He's kind of leaning down.
Yeah. Yes, well. I did not anticipate this. Perhaps you should have waited until we were away from the rather battle-hungry, bloodthirsty tribes, my lord.
It's a bargaining chip if we can't offer them the city. And if worse comes to worse, we go back to plan D, which is run, and they'll never have any. And Lexi here will be unique.
Yes.
At this point, you guys all notice that the screeching of an eagle and the flapping of giant wings as a bird lands not like 20 feet off away from you guys, like slowing itself down, dust and sand flying up everywhere. A veiled hobgoblin sitting astride it hops down, and as it does, the eagle whirls and forms into like a brown robed hobgoblin with like this well cut black goatee and these green eyes. And the hobgoblin deveils and walks past you. You see her now. She's short. She has short gray hair and hazel eyes, and a bunch of these like bar piercings on her ears, and she even seems to have a couple of nose piercings as well. She seems older. You see wrinkles like on her face and things like that. But she looks up at you, but doesn't say anything, and just walks into the tent, followed by the previous eagle. As he walks inside, he shuts the tent flaps, and you are left alone outside of the tent.
Should we go in?
We were not invited to this council meeting.
Yeah.
We should probably just wait, pass our day until they are done. Stay close, though.
Want to play cards?
No, I want to find that druid and see if he found my brazier.
All right. I actually do have a playing card. No, wait. I don't have a playing card set. Damn it! No, I do!
Jeez, dude.
He left it in his other dinosaur saddle.
Right?
God damn it.
Oh, I was looking at the wrong
Yeah.
spot.
So Hathol, I mean, you want to like go seek out the same guy, or make yourself available?
I'm gonna find that guy again.
Yeah, I mean, he's easy enough to find, so you find him again. And he looks at you and he goes, welcome back. The scouts say they may have found something. I do not trust them to know exactly what you need, but in one of the old broken buildings, there seems to be at least some sort of old brazier.
Okay. If they could direct me, I can check it out for myself.
Yeah, I mean, you see them off to the side, and they nod, and they trot off, expecting you to follow.
Yep, I'll follow.
Sure. What is everyone else doing?
I am riding my dinosaur, sir.
Right, but like somewhere just around the camp. Are you
Yeah,
like?
I'm gonna put it through its paces and have it like doing circles around the camp.
Sure. Yeah, it's stomping all around the camp. The hobgoblins have kind of like, as you pass them, they just look and kind of, some of them in awe, some of them in confusion. But they don't address you. They take note of you as you run around. Some of them like try to keep pace with the dinosaur. If you start putting it in like sprints and stuff like that, like real fast, they'll attempt to like try to keep up with it.
Oh yeah, you know what? Let's organize a race.
Okay. Do you speak Hobgoblin?
Damn it! You know, no wait. I'll get off I'll get off Rexy, draw a line in the sand, have Rexy stand behind it, and then remount, and basically just kind of gesture to them to get on the line.
Okay. They're on the line. You've got maybe a group of 6 here, various male and female hobgoblins.
All right. Let's see. What do I have that can serve as a thing?
Also, make me a performance check to see how well they understand what you're trying to do here.
Okay.
13. Okay.
Let's see. What do I have that would actually work? All right. I'll take out a copper coin and just show it to them and just kind of gesture throwing it to see if they understand that as like a starting symbol.
Okay. You think they might.
All right. And I'll just toss it into the air, and as soon as the coin hits the ground, I'll take off.
Okay. Yeah, so 2 things happen here. Some of them seem to understand, and some of them don't. You take off, and 2 of the other ones that are at the thing try to run and obviously try to keep up. They're swift. They're very quick, but definitely not as fast as this beast. The other ones start throwing javelins at the beast. So you have 3 javelins that come flying out of the air to try and strike the thing. as it runs away. So let me get. Yep, there's this one. Oh, here.
I'm gonna laugh if you lose it.
That one fails.
well.
That one is a 9, and that one's a 2. Wow,
Wow.
two natural ones and a 9. So they like kind of clatter around. Obviously, they just don't pierce the thing, and it kind of just clatters, and you stomp over these javelins. Obviously, you quickly outpace them, and that's about it.
All right.
The two crit fails. I just imagine them just throwing them at each other, just piercing each other.
No.
Technically, we haven't done that, but that's theoretically allowable in the rules that if you roll a crit fail, it can actually hurt yourself.
I know it is.
Yeah.
Do you want me to start implementing that?
Fuck no.
Okay.
No.
All right. It's like flanking rules. I do this because it can both help you and hurt you, so I choose not to implement them. So if you want to crank the difficulty up, we can do it, man.
No.
All right.
And after that, I'll just I'll thank the gnolls or the hobgoblins, sorry, that did the running and kind of glare at the ones that threw the javelins, and then just go back.
They're like
the...
full on belly laughing at what's going on here, and the other one they're like joking with each other and pointing it around, and you kind of get the idea that like the ones that ran thought like they knew they were supposed to run, but they're like confused about whether or not they were supposed to throw javelins now. And the ones that are throwing javelins are confused about whether or not they should have run. So they're just like laughing about the absurdity of all of it.
All right. Well, yeah, I'll thank the ones that ran at least, and just go back to tinkering with Rexy.
Yeah, sure. So Miara, what are you up to?
I think if Darien and I are probably still waiting. I don't know what you're planning on doing, Darien, but
Fuck if I know, man. Just watching this all.
Yeah. So
the spectacle.
So when would you like to talk with Ignis about what we discussed last night?
I mean, he seems to be in good spirits now, considering he just Miara, God's help me, I don't know what he's doing.
I think more than ever we need to watch out for both of them.
Absolutely. I mean, he is the very future of the very future of frankly this desert hangs in the balance right now, and I'm worried that he's not taking this seriously, frankly.
Yes.
And I'm not entirely sure what we are expected to do here. It seems like we're fighting a losing battle, and while I don't want to be the apathetic one to say, well, we'll leave them to their trifles, I'm starting to think that this isn't our fight.
I can agree with you there. This definitely is not our place. It's not in our place to say anything or make any suggestions, but and I agree that Ignis isn't taking things very seriously. In fact, he's probably acting a little immature about the whole situation. And that's not the greatest thing I'd like to say about the future or the current Duke of Erdrick, but that's the reality that we live in at the moment. But I don't see much harm in potentially supplying aid and creating allies with the hobgoblins. Everything else I don't think we have in our hands anymore, but I think we can still potentially guide them away from genocide, as if we were to convince them that leaving Adis close to the spine was their best solution to protecting Adis. It all depends on whether or not they really care about the safety of their city.
Well, it all depends on how much communication between the seps is of value to them. I mean, Hathol makes it sound like they rarely communicate, or there's dissonance, or I'm not sure what we can do if there is a way to unify them and gain them as allies.
This
I'm
is true.
starting to think this is just a lost cause.
Well, let's see this through. As long as we don't say anything or do anything to put our lives on the line, I think everything will turn out at least okay.
Yes, well. Speaking of putting their lives on the line, I'm going to go speak with Ignas.
Be careful out there.
Sure. So while Darien walks away, we'll catch up with Hathol. Hathol, you find yourself in part of the destroyed old city of Adis, and in this old ruined house. But you walk in, and on the first floor, it looks like kind of just like a regular home. But the hobgoblins lead you upstairs, and upstairs in one of the rooms, in the very center of this room, there is a brazier. It seems somewhat tarnished, a little bit sooted still, and the sand that has come in through the broken open window in the corner has coated the ground and things like that. But yeah, you're more than welcome to evaluate it.
I would like to check out this brazier and see if it's fit for my purpose.
Sure, investigate that thing for me.
Yeah. Looking through all the tiny letters. Thank God it's alphabetical.
I mean, you know what? As far as you know about metals and things, it looks like it could be brass. It might work for you.
Well, nothing ventured, nothing gained. I'm gonna do some magic right now.
Sure. So, what are you gonna do, Hathol? What's the plan here?
I'm gonna do only what I recall from my dream, which is I take the charcoal, the incense, and the herbs, mix them around in the bowl of the brazier, and then light them on fire.
Yeah, and you do so, and it puffs out in this bunch of kind of honestly, it's not acrid smoke, but it definitely has a pungent smell. The mixture of all of these herbs and things together with the incense and things like that, it burns, and it definitely has a smoky smell, and the smoke fills the room, going out the broken window on the outside. The hobgoblins, have you asked them to leave the room? Or are they there with you, or?
No, I was kind of a bit too excited just to crack on, so I kind of lost focus that they were even there.
Sure. One of them peeks his head into the room and sees that there's all this smoke there, and he backs out. You don't see him in the doorway anymore.
Okay.
So yeah, you light it all on fire.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't really know what to do. I'm just remembering stuff from a dream right now.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, so you would do what in a spell? You'd probably try to reach out with your magic or do some runic things. You're trying to remember what you know from the dream. So portions of your dream, very similarly to when you guys were following the star map of the hobgoblins, the constellations, right? That you'd see these constellations drawn together. But there are ones from your dream that stick out to you that were kind of just brought to your mind. And so you start drawing them out. You take some of that charcoal that you have and you start drawing out the lines, pushing away the sand from where it is on the floor, and you connect the stars that you remember from your dream all across the ground. And you see now that it creates a ring, that each one of these fits into another, and it creates a ring around this brazier here. And upon completing it, you see that it has a complete kind of geometric design to it, where you find each of these different constellations that fit together.
Okay.
So do you want to extend some magic into this?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So you exert yourself, and you've always, know how to cast magic innately, right? So you're trying to do that. You place your hand on the like in the charcoal circle, reaching out with what you've remembered from this dream. And very similarly to when you had exerted yourself for magic the night before, it's different than previously. Normally you have like crackling green lightning or dark black ice that covers your body, or cracking thundering sounds that explode outwards and a bunch of forceful dark damage. But under your hand, you see the floor, it begins to glow, like this light pushes out from your hand, and then it follows the trail of all of the charcoal that you had laid in into the floor in all of these constellations. It lights up like the night sky that you had seen the night before and in your dream. And you focus on this, and words come to your mouth in a language that you don't understand, but they seem right and they feel right. The entirety of the spell to cast will take an hour long. So you push for the full hour?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I think this is what you're doing for right now. You're doing this for the next hour. But we're going to catch up with the rest of the group while you're in process of doing this. So, I think at this point, Darien, you went to find Ignas. Yeah, what are you guys up to?
So I go up to Ignas, who I assume is still tinkering with the new dino friend.
Yep.
And I just approach him. Say, my lord, I have something, a little serious question for you.
Certainly. I'll turn away from Rexy.
Miera brought up a good point, and at first I was against it, but how would you feel about teaching, about her and I maybe teaching Tessie to defend herself in the event that maybe she is separated from us again, or I'm concerned for her well-being, and in the event that we can't be there to protect her, at least she has a little bit of a fighting chance.
I mean, teach her how to use a weapon and how to fight.
Just to defend herself. We don't want her actively seeking combat.
I think that's an excellent idea. She should know how to defend herself.
Okay, then. Great. You're not concerned in the slightest that maybe it's dangerous, or...
Darien, look where we are. We're in the middle of a desert on the back of a giant turtle. I have a dinosaur. This is our life right now. Tess, she should know how to defend herself. Even if we weren't in just the most ungodly dangerous situations on a daily basis, I would still want her to know how to defend herself, because, God's forbid, if anything ever happens to me, she's the last of our line. And I don't want her to be helpless. So yes, by all means, with my blessing.
That is fair. Well, okay then. Thank you. Please don't get eaten by your creation.
Darien, it's a machine. It responds to my commands. It's not going to eat me.
Okay.
Hear that? Point up to Rexy. No means no.
That's concerning that it that you had to tell it no. As if it came up previously.
Well, okay. There was an issue in beta, but I'm pretty sure I fixed it by now.
Sweet gosh.
And listen, Darien, and I'm gonna just look around. Are there any hobgoblins near us?
I mean, they're always around.
But I mean, are they like within earshot?
I mean, if you want them to be, they can be.
No.
No. I mean,
No.
they don't. Most of them don't speak common, anyways.
All right, I'm just making sure. Don't worry about building any more of these for Ital and the others. Even if I wanted to, I would need supplies from my lab, and that's in Erdrick and possibly either on fire or destroyed. But if they want these things, and if these can be used as a bargaining chip, then they should be. Because these, and I'll pat Rexy again, could potentially be what gets them to agree to relocate Adis south of the spine and closer to home.
My lord, forgive me. I underestimated your intentions with this thing.
Really think I was going to build more of Rexy for them?
No, I thought it odd that you revealed it in front of a warlike people, but
Gives them something to discuss in their meeting before they invite us in. Gives them something to think about.
how tactical of you.
Oh, it's politics. You'll get used to it.
Well, okay. Darien will thoughtfully walk away back to Miera to inform her of the good news, I guess, that we're teaching a small child how to wield a weapon. I don't know.
Actually, I'm gonna
The news.
I'm gonna also walk with Darien because I'm more or less done. Just come on, Rexy.
Yeah, so it stomps over, and Darien, you're with them, and you guys make it back to the tent. As you do so, and the sound probably alerts everyone in the general vicinity that Ignis is back in the area.
He's
You
on the
find
move.
Miara, you're standing there with you've been standing there with Lady Tassir, just kind of like with you.
Yeah.
But the tent opens, and the hobgoblin with the short gray hair and the eyes, the last one that you had seen with the piercings, is standing there with the tent open, arms crossed. He goes, "Well, it is time for you to come in."
All right, Rexy, sentry mode.
She just looks up at the thing and looks at you as you clamber down off of it, and she turns around, walks inside. She takes a seat on the opposite end of the. It seems that they're arranged in a half circle. Again, similarly for some of you that have seen when you've had meetings with Ital, they sit on these like small cushions. Each of them has like a small clay cup of tea. And there's like a small tea kettle in the middle that they pass around occasionally. But the semicircle is open on the end where you guys enter in from where the tent flaps have opened. She sits and she looks up at you and she gestures to the open spots there. There are there's 4 spots open. Yeah, with cushions there. And as you sit, she addresses you. "I am Lith of the Shifting Sand Sept. Here, you know her. This is Ital of the Two Stones. Eshikil is next to her of the Broken Shields. Eshikil has like auburn hair and light green eyes. She seems to be pretty like average of height and weight for a hobgoblin. Next to her is Miley of the Night Stalkers. Miley is shorter, thin, has braided blonde hair that rests over her right shoulder, and narrow gray eyes. She has this kind of like tight look as you guys enter and sit. Next to her is Sage. Sage is short, copper hair, soft brown eyes, and she kind of just like regards you coolly. She seems to be studying you as you enter. And next to her is Zaba. Zaba has like long white hair, but she doesn't seem older. She looks younger than most of the other ones in the room. She has blue eyes and larger ears than the rest of the people, but the left ear is ringed from top to bottom with piercings. And next to her, I believe you already know her as well, is Seely of the Sun Scouts. Welcome. We have been discussing things at length here as what to do with our now wandering city of Adis again. What is your take on these strangers? What should we be doing with this city?
I guess I'll look to
Yeah.
the others for approval that I can start speaking.
Let's give Darien a little nod.
Upon our encounter in the tombs here, the point was raised that the hobgoblin tribes may not communicate with each other enough because of proximity, and there's a lot of previously unknown history of your peoples. I think we're in somewhat of a unique situation where we can, instead of relocate the tribes to better supplement their proximity to the wandering city, but we can bring the culture to the tribes. And I don't know what your history says about the purpose of the wandering city or the legend of the wandering city, but it's very much true, it seems, and could possibly or potentially be beneficial for a number of reasons. I mean, Seely, our interaction with you, we traded goods that largely just came from our travels. Now, some of us come from a greater city of Erdrick, and there's a plethora of supply and trade and commerce there, and access to that might be beneficial to the hobgoblin peoples, especially in the event of your ongoing conflict with the gnolls. And I know, Ital, you had wanted to take the city a little bit closer to them, but maybe moving it farther, you could be on the defense and have the advantage against any attacks. And we do. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, go on.
Zaba, the one with the white hair, says something in Hobgoblin and kind of spits over to the side. And Lith looks at her and says it out in common. These are our guests. You shall respect them, Zaba, as is hospitality rules. Now, I do agree with you that I do not think we need your culture. As for your other mentions, Ital has made it very clear that this city is well defensible, especially in its new form. There should be no reason that we do not take this fight directly to the gnolls. With the height advantage, the beast itself, we would be unparalleled in that lands. Why should we go on the defense when we can take the fight to them?
Because you risk... the gnolls already managed to crawl their way into this city somehow. You wish to preserve what little culture that you have here, or what little history that you have here. You risk the loss of that very history. I mean, do you know how great the gnoll numbers are? They could easily climb their way up this. I've seen them scale entire buildings in our fight alone. I mean, this is trifling, and there's little that you can do to defend the legs of such a creature. You bring their most prized possession right to their door. It doesn't matter how big it is, they're going to covet it.
As for their numbers, we actually do know. We keeps scouts out in the desolation for this very reason. They number in somewhere in the hundreds of thousands, which is many more than we can manage on their own. Which is why they sometimes get past us, but we always find them. We always kill them. Did not Hathol show up here after the gnolls had made it by and come to the city? We had taken them down. Defending the legs, we can do that, or the legs themselves will crush our enemies in front of us. Now, it is my personal belief that, yes, patience here is probably wise. I have lived a great many years here, more so than my sisters, as she, looks around. It is of my opinion, Sage and Zaba, that we do not approach the desolation right away. Hathol, Eshkil, and Miley would like us to turn this beast around and take the fight to them as quickly as possible, and as quickly as we can bring the septs together. It is a bit early for the warring season, but with such a great gift, it is hard to argue. Seelie has not decided yet what should be done. Seelie, looks up and looks around. He goes, I do not see Hathol with you. Has he lost his way?
No, he is he's working on something separately, an experiment of his own.
Hathol has said that he is the one that has spoken with the beast. I had hoped to have his opinion on things here, especially knowing us as he does. Hathol says that he spends much time with the two stones. But
yes, he's rather energetic these days.
it is fine. I do not see a reason to bring the beast closer to your civilization. It doesn't interest me. I like to trade with the people in the caravans. They come out every summer anyways. I do not think we need the proximity as you so say, but I also am not one to rush into any battle. Lith looks at her and nods. And goes, yes, it is wise for us to take this slowly. But Seelie, you must come to a decision. It is you're the deciding vote here in the council. Seelie just looks up and looks at Darien and goes, what would your decision be, Paladin?
Personally, I cannot speak to the culture of your peoples, and your wants and your needs. However, from a purely tactical standpoint, should the gnolls have some sort of advantage that maybe your scouts aren't aware of, and that's no offense to your scouts, they're crafty beasts. However, should they have some sort of advantage you're not aware of, quick and easy access to, I don't know, for instance, weaponry technologies, as you've seen our artificer demonstrate, are easily come by in Erdrick, and you wouldn't be at the mercy of the trading season when the caravanners next show up. In worst case scenario, you're caught without any supplies, and you have months before the trade season. What happens then?
Yeah, Lith looks at you and... Are you suggesting that we take all of the septs and we bring them to your civilization, leaving the desolation totally unguarded?
No, I'm suggesting you take the city in closer proximity to the septs. That way it is easily defensible, and it
The steps are
remains in the desert.
The steps are spread all throughout the desert, and each take their turn on the border of the desolation. When you say bring it closer, I do not know how you think this will be managed with 7 steps spread throughout the desert. We would have to bring them all together, and you would wish us to do that towards your civilization.
Do you not desire to be within closer proximity as a people and maybe work together in defending this city? This city, not my city.
Yeah, Zaba like laughs off on the side and says something in Hobgoblin. Eshkiel across from her chuckles and like covers her mouth a little bit, and then just like waves her hand. Lith again like staring daggers over at Zaba. No, we keep many of our people away from each other because there is blood feuds that span centuries. Bringing them together is a way to start even more fighting between us. There are reasons that we have battles between us, and during the festival season, the challenge rites. A way to keep the blood feuds in check. Bringing the entirety of all of our people to one location near your civilization. I believe you would be tested on your own defenses. I may be the one who speaks for this council here. My age demands that respect. But I cannot stop Zaba or Eshkiel and her broken shields from stepping over the spine and taking what they want. Right now, the desert keeps us happy. We have a feud with those gnolls in the desolation. Do you want us to come and be together and... I do not know if we can do this, but we will take this into consideration. As for the time being, Sealy, you must cast your vote. For what you've said, Darien, I'm going to want you to roll a persuasion check for me, please. Let's see how Sealy feels.
Oh God, I wish I had inspiration to give to him.
I wish I had something to say too to just like help with it.
I'd like to spend my inspiration point, please.
Absolutely, roll with advantage.
Woo! Didn't
24.
need it, but you got it.
Yeah, Sealy looks thoughtfully at you. We must be patient. I do not agree with keeping the city closer to the civilization. It is not our way, but we must see if we can even control this beast, talk to it, speak to it, convince it to help us. It is a free thing. We cannot force it to do things against its own will. It's been asleep for as long as any of our civilization can remember. No. We must wait. Maybe one day, but we must wait. At that answer, Zaba just gets up and like says something in Hobgoblin, like raises her voice, smashes her teacup on the ground, and walks out of the tent. Eshikil kind of just shakes her head, and she also leaves. Not as angrily as Zaba did, but she does shake her head, and she looks over at Sealy. This is a mistake. We have the advantage. This is a mistake. And she leaves. I think at this point, Tom, before we lose him. Hey, buddy.
I'm still here.
We bounce over to Hathol at the brazier, his hand on the ground. He's been concentrating now for almost an hour, and the light has fully suffused each individual portion of the charcoal that had traced out these constellations on the ground. In Hathol, in your mind, at this point, you're just falling through the cosmos that you were in your dream. Like different planets and realities, stars on all sides, like different galaxies whiz by you. It's an entire thing that you've never had any comprehension over in your entire life. Whenever you've looked up, you just knew they were stars. You had no idea the extent, the expanse of all of this stuff that while your eyes are closed and your magic is being pushed through this design, the extent of what you could have contacted and what you could have reached for. We get this shot of like that happening in the brain, like he's just moving through like the Starfield screensaver essentially from the old like Windows 95 thing. And he's like falling through that. But we also get the shot of just like the brazier's now like slowly smoking, just like these little bits of smoke come up and of the incense and the herbs. But we also see now that pinpricks of light have started appearing in between the points of all of where the charcoal was. All of these extra little dots, some bigger, some smaller, on all of them just keep appearing. The room itself has become almost blindingly bright. Hathol, you can't see anything, but like we get the shot of like one of the hobgoblins leaning in and like just and like being blind, and he just has to cover his eyes and he backs out of the room. And this continues, but as soon as it's been an hour, all of it blinks out. Hathol, you're thrust back into your body and knocked backwards onto your butt, and you're kind of just sitting there like this, breathing heavily at the exertion of all of the magic that you had just used. And the light in the room has gone out. The smoke and the fire and the brazier has gone out. All of it's quiet. And you're just sitting. You see a mote of light kind of floating downwards. Small, almost like a speck of dust. You kind of rub your eyes, like you just seen so many stars and so many lights and so many specks of things in front of you. It seems so small, but like you can't get it out of your vision. So you like reach out for it and you try to grab it. So it like lands onto your palm, this little mote of light. The mote expands upwards and then outwards. And you see these silvery wings expand outwards with these feathers on the back of what appears to be a small woman. Glowing slightly, has an angular face regarding you coolly. It's proud. Silver hair, loose, falls over her small shoulders. And she has these just pupilless and just milky white eyes. These silvered, feathered wings, about the size of her body, start to flap slowly, and she levitates just above your hand. She has a long sword at her belt, almost like the length of her torso, and a bow crossed over her shoulder. She seems to be wearing, like, small pieces of plate armor, all silvered and shiny. Her voice has this, like, echoing, ethereal quality. My name is Ariel de Serafina. Why have you summoned me? And that's where we'll end the show.
Fine.
Nice.
There we go. We have
Cliffhanger.
dinosaurs, tiny little women, sort of delaying the genocide of an evil race. I don't know. A lot of stuff happened today, guys.
Giant
So hey, claps for you guys.
Yay!
That was something else, man. What a good session. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Super duper appreciate it. Let's look at some goals real quick.
Okay.
There's going to be some important stuff that we have to go over, huh?
Oh boy.
All right, big one at the very top. Group goal. We have get back in the Two Stones good graces. You know what? I think you guys have done it. You were invited into the council and all of this stuff. It honestly, with what you've done, none of it was necessarily difficult, but you did put the effort into it. Everyone should take 500 experience. Congratulations. So Rob, that already ticks you over to level 3 there, bud. Or excuse me, level 6.
Sure.
So claps for Rob, level 6 on Darien. There you go. So we'll have to go over that. So he lived long enough.
The
average.
Shut up! I'm not taking the average.
He's got a roll. No, and the last one on here that was completed. Finally, Cure Ignis of Karis's curse.
Oh my
For
god.
Man, that
sake.
took like a ton of time. Everyone in this, because of the difficulty of obtaining the relic, the amount of time you had to put into it, and all that stuff, everyone in the party takes 1,100 experience.
Golly.
Ooh. I'm well
There you
on my
go.
way to 7, okay, right now. All right.
So there you go. So now, Darien, you are solidly level 6. Miara and Hathol are getting
yeah.
closer, about another third of the way there. So yeah, there you go for that. Ignis, gaining control of the city of Adis. Do you want to hold on to that? As of right now, you have not been able to garner that.
I'll think on it.
Okay.
Because I think there is still an avenue toward that, but other goals may be a little bit more pressing.
Sure. Okay, I'm actually looking through what goals are here that might need addressing. Miara, it doesn't look like anything that you've done today would get you anything.
Nope.
You haven't talked to Ital, I don't think, about anything
Nope.
today. Darien, you did evaluate Tasir's health. Do you feel comfortable with what you learned?
Yeah, I think there's not much else for me to learn.
Okay. For that one, go ahead and take 50. It's not hard. You did a little investigating into it. So go ahead and take an easy 50 on that. She seems well enough, according to you. Convince Ital and everyone else to avoid null genocide. I don't know
yeah,
where that
tried.
sits. You tried.
Sure did.
You attempted to. Do you want to try to do more with this, or are you comfortable with what you've done?
I don't think we're quite out of the woods yet. So,
All right, so you want to hold on to that.
I'm gonna hold on to that.
Hathol, I think everything else, I don't think you've done anything that works on yours, but you've made some strides in a lot of different ways today. So good for you. We'll figure out those things on the next show. Yeah, I think that's about it, everybody. So let's do some shout outs. Rel, where can the people find you at?
Oh boy. Well, when I am not riding my dinosaur,
I can't believe.
you can find me at youtube.com/RelPlays. Hollow Knight is finished. It's done. I finally beat the final boss, the actual final boss.
Proud of you.
Thank you. And I'm starting a new LP of Shantae Half Genie Hero. As Professor Saccharum will attest to, it is a solid game, and you should go see it. I also stream very randomly on Twitch, although I do stream every Saturday religiously because, I play with a group of friends. Twitch.tv/RelPlays. You can also follow me on Twitter at RelLet'sPlay and on Instagram, Rel.Plays.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. Tom, we'll let you go right after this, bud. Where can the people find you at?
Yeah, you can find me over on twitch.tv/TomLoggerFox and also twitch.tv/Paladins Challenge, where I'm casting Paladins tournaments twice a week. If you like esports, drop me a follow. There's some podcasts coming up. It's going to be fun.
Cool. I will be sure to add that to your list too. The Paladins Challenge stuff for
All right,
next week.
thanks, man.
Rob, where can the people find you at?
Me. Well, today I learned it's not called esports, so we all learned something today. You can find me at disclaimer. I didn't actually think it was called esports. I'm not that dumb. I only play an idiot on DieFall. Hello, it's me, Rob, your friendly neighborhood dumbass. Where you can find me when I'm not here, losing my mind because my liege lord is on a dinosaur. Could fall off at any minute and hit his head. Who's to say what'll happen? But when I'm not here, I'm on my own channel, Bonus Stage Rob, or twitch.tv/bonus_stage_Rob, which, hey, look at the time. I'll be there in like 15 minutes doing more Smash Brothers Ultimate World of Light. How about that? So if you like that, if you like other variety of games, I've been on like a huge Switch kick, I realized, but I do have a PS3 in the mail because I can't quite afford a PS4 yet. But by golly, I've got the God of War HD collection burning a hole in my pocket, so I really want to play that. So if you like that kind of stuff, I'm over there.
Awesome. Thank you, dude. Professor Saccharum, where can the people find you at?
Well, while I'm not playing Big Sister to Little Gnome Girls, you can find me at twitch.tv/prof_Saccharum. when I finally do go live again, I'll probably be starting a Kingdom Hearts 3 LP at some point. So stay tuned whenever I get a new PC.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. Hi, I'm Joel, also known as Runaway Robot. I am your DM for this game, DieFall, The Aspects. Biggest thing here for me, when you don't see me here, tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will be continuing our Ravnica campaign over on Encounter Roleplay. Last week was awesome. I had a really great time with it, and all of you guys that came out, thank you so much. Robot Nation, love you guys. Over there, I will be playing the character Cyrus Elsvolt. And I'll be roguing stuff up, rustling some cattle or something like that.
I love it.
So I'll be playing Cyrus over there tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then we'll have our normal streams Tuesdays and Thursdays. And thanks for tuning in tonight, guys. I super duper appreciate it. So I think, with that being said, that's all for us here tonight. And until next time, later.
Bye.